Make sure I was right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. And you all know what we're watching today. We are watching Transplant Talk with your girl, and that's Shonda Larimore. I am so happy and delighted to be here. I am so excited for my special guest today. I am super, super excited. I am so glad he said yes. He is a recent kidney transplant recipient. So he went from being a kidney warrior to a recipient. And this just happened December 17th. This is the gentleman that I was telling everybody about. He's supposed to be on my show, but he was in the hospital preparing for his kidney transplant. Okay, so I got him today. He's coming on to share his story. And I couldn't be more delighted. I am so glad that everybody's here. I'm just making sure that I have my eyes and ears on. And if you are listening and if you are watching, everybody say hello, please. If you are a organ donor, please, please, please go ahead and give me some blue hearts or some green hearts to let me know you are a living or that you are a organ donor. All right. If you are a living donor, go ahead and write that in the comments as well. I would love to know who you are and then possibly have you on the show. I will also ask, where's everybody from? Everybody that's watching, where is everybody from? So go ahead and drop those in the comments. I'm trying to look on Facebook on my page and this page at the same time. So I hope everybody is just having a thankful Thursday. And I'm so glad you're here. So without any further ado, wait, I have to watch. I got to make sure I put this information out. If you are interested in becoming an organ donor, please make sure that you go to donatelifeflorida.org, fill out the application, put in other when you finish, and then also specify save 1,000 lives. And that is our mission to, one, bring awareness about organ donation, and to also raise awareness, educate, and get 1,000 people registered to become an organ donor so that we can have more successful stories such as this, such as my guest today, Mr. DeAngelo Crawford, who is from Beaverton, Oregon. Okay, I've never been there. So, I love traveling virtually to all of these different, to all of the different states and cities. So, hi, Mom. Hi, Mama. All right. So, again, guys, Mr. DeAngelo Crawford is our guest today, and he is a kidney warrior and recent kidney recipient. So, you all welcome him and show him some love. Make sure I turn his mic on. Hey, DeAngelo.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Crawford? Let me tell you, you look so good, sir. You
Thank
look
you.
so good. You definitely look good. I'm so glad you said yes to being on the show and making sure that you came back to tell your story.
Oh
So
yeah. I definitely want to like I don't know if it's the right word to like inspire people. Maybe think about it if you have kidney failure to think about transplant. Not only live donors but also the deceased donor list. I mean, it saved my life and pushed me out a little bit further. So I'm just trying to share my story and just share my outlook on how everything was because it was a big transformation for me.
absolutely, absolutely. So well, let's get started. Let's get into it. Well, tell everybody first of all who you are. We know you are in Oregon, and God bless y'all with all that freezing rain and stuff because we over here in sunny Florida, and we good over here.
Man, yeah, I'm looking at the raindrops freezing on my window screen right now. It's
Oh
ridiculous.
wow,
But
wow. So who is DeAngelo Crawford?
well, there's three of them actually.
Oh,
To be
okay,
honest,
okay.
there was pre-kidney failure D'Angelo, there was kidney failure D'Angelo, and then there's transplant D'Angelo. So there's many different sides.
Mm.
The pre sick DeAngelo was a good dude. You know, I liked him a lot. Um, he was just a chill dude. You know,
Yeah.
he just hung out. He took care of his family. He was going to school, going to work, trying to build something and do some things. Actually, like leave a mark.
Mhm.
He liked to help the homeless. He liked to feed the homeless and stuff like that. He did that stuff all the time, volunteered and stuff. And he was just a good dude. Like I said, it wasn't really like overcomplicated. He wasn't like he was MLK or nothing, but he was a good dude.
No, it's okay. It's
You
all
know?
right. It's all you.
Yeah, yeah. He
You get.
wasn't he you know, he was doing his little piece that he could do, you know, left his little footprint there. And
Mhm.
then you know, took care of his daughter, was doing everything he's supposed to do. And
Okay.
then D'Angelo got sick. Pre
Yeah.
D'Angelo got sick and that D'Angelo kind of died off because he got sad, he got disappointed with himself, and he just wasn't the same. Body wasn't the same, nothing was the same. Had to drop out of school, had to stop working at a point, had to go to dialysis. It was a big change for D'Angelo. The whole door of life slammed in his face, and he basically
Mm,
was just stuck in a box.
nah.
So was stuck in that box for about 4 years. Very angry, very sad, very anxious. Um, just not a good existence. I actually felt like I've never been to prison, but I felt like I was in prison for the last 4 years.
In
So
your mind. You was
yeah,
in prison in your
and
mind.
and then when you're in dialysis, you're sitting there by yourself. Your mind starts playing with you. So it's almost like being in like solitary confinement, but everybody's around you, but you really don't feel like talking to anybody.
Right. Right.
So I mean, I was in a dark place, and that D'Angelo actually realized he was in a dark place and got some counseling and got some mental health therapy and stuff like that to try to break out of that funk a little bit and just talk about it to somebody that was a third party that wasn't going to be like a yes man, you're right on everything, or somebody that wasn't going to be that negative person telling you you're wrong on how you feel about everything. I just needed that neutral ear.
Yeah.
And I could say that Ryan definitely helped me out through that process. And he got me all the way through transplant. I actually talked to him tomorrow, so I got an appointment with him tomorrow.
Wow.
So I did that, and then got the transplant. After I got the transplant, a whole new D'Angelo was born,
Oh, well,
and
wait
it was
before you go to that, D'Angelo, because where did you go to school for? What were you going to school for? Let me not tell you a
well,
story.
I was going to school for business management and accounting and stuff like that because I always wanted to own my own business, so I had to make sure nobody's counting the money but me.
I wish
So
more people realize that. I really do. I
yeah, so that's what I was doing, and I was super close. But I realized, I mean, I saw a meme on Facebook where it said you need a degree to work for somebody, but you need 0 degrees to start your own business. So I
uh
was like, man, I got the accounting certificate already. So I was like, I might as well just go ahead and just go with it. I know how to count my money. That's the most important part. So
Right, right.
I just went ahead, and that's when I started venturing off into the food truck industry and trying to do that.
And where that passion come from? Did you just love?
Um, necessity and something that was COVID proof and
Okay,
something that was recession proof and something that was almost like weather proof. People could do come out and get it and go. They could eat it on the go. I mean, that's the whole reason I did it. I just thought of something that I could make that would be recession and COVID proof. That was mainly the main thing of it.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I can give it to my daughter so she can do whatever she wants with it. She can cash it out and sell it, or she can start a whole new different venture, or start a second truck, or start a third, fourth truck, whatever. So sky's
okay.
the limit for her, and so that's where it came from.
Just building your dynasty.
Exactly. Just
Just
want to
building.
leave something for my baby. I don't want to have that. I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but I don't want to have that funeral where, oh, we got to fundraise, get a GoFundMe for him, and start washing cars and having barbecues to get his funds up so he can be buried. I don't want to be that guy. So I try
That
to
burden.
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't want to leave that burden on anybody. I want to be able to take care of myself all the way from life all the way to the end. So
Okay. All right. And we are, we have to mention, guys, he actually has a birthday. That is
Yeah,
fast approaching him and his daughter. The daughter's birthday is the 14th, and his birthday is the next day. So what a little special bond to have with your daughter.
definitely.
And we talk about that. His daughter was very young when she learned about you and having your kidney transplant. What did she see?
Oh, man. The only thing she really didn't see was the in-clinic dialysis. She never really saw that. And then she didn't see, like, when I first, like, she saw me getting sick, like when I was sick around the house, but she never like saw me in the hospital because, I mean, of course, she was scared to see me in the hospital and stuff. So I totally understand that.
Mhm.
But she didn't see me during like the bad stages until like towards the middle of my illness. Because towards the middle of my illness, I got really sick. Like it was around Christmas, and for some reason, like, oh, let me go back because what actually had happened was I was on PD dialysis,
Okay.
and I was doing really well. So the clinic actually released me and put me in remission. So they were like, "Oh, you're gaining kidney function. Everything's going well. You're doing everything you need to do. You're great. You don't need this anymore." I was like, "Okay, cool." So for like 6 months, I was dialysis free. I'm just doing my thing, and going to work, and everything was cool. And then all of a sudden, in like around Christmas, I started getting real sick. I like just dropped all this weight. Like I was about 175, 180 at that point, and I dropped down to like 130.
Oh,
Yeah, I was so little. Like it looked like honestly, I can say I looked disgusting with my like when I took my shirt off, I was disgusted with myself.
oh wow.
And I just got sick, and then I'm like for some reason like my back started hurting real bad and I couldn't like walk like I wanted to. So then I ended up in the hospital right before Christmas, and then I was just like super sick. They kept giving me like emergency dialysis and all this stuff. And then I went home, and it took so long to actually get the strength back just to like put up groceries or just to clean up the house and stuff like that. It just took so long. It took like almost like about a year to
Wow.
actually get all that strength back. And then I got that back. And then once I did that, that's when everything started rolling in the right direction. And then like I said, she saw a lot though.
So like, well, let's back up a little bit more. What led you to have to go into kidney dialysis or to need dialysis?
Blood pressure.
Mm.
That's all it was. I don't have diabetes. I don't have liver problems. I don't have pancreas problems. I don't have any of that stuff. It was just strictly high blood pressure because I was stressing myself out trying to do things and make things happen. And it was just too much for me. It was too much for me. And my kidneys finally tuckered out.
So you weren't on any kind of blood pressure medicine?
I was, but I think they were giving me the wrong stuff because none of it was like apparently working because I had high blood pressure since I was like 13. And
13.
yeah, I was 13, and my blood pressure at that time was like 200 over something.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah, it was
whoa.
crazy. And I wasn't overweight or anything, so it wasn't like I was like overweight and had high blood pressure or my mom really took good care of me. So like she made sure I ate right and all that. So I don't know where the blood pressure came from. Maybe my dad, because he has high blood pressure, but he has it managed now, but maybe that's where it came from.
Okay, so it was hereditary.
Yeah, and then and my aunt my aunt on my mom's side, she also had a kidney transplant, but we're the only ones in the family that's had kidney transplants.
Oh,
So I
wait,
don't know if
you and your aunt?
yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if it came from my mom's side or my dad's side. Like it's a mixture of both almost.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, so I was doing that, and then like I said, that's basically the reason that I got high kidney failure.
Anything. Okay, so just so everyone knows, again, with him saying, my dad, my aunt, so it's definitely in the family. Um, and wow, that is,
But
man,
then
that's
yeah,
crazy.
and my mom, she's if I could tell you about my mom, she's super strong. She actually survived breast cancer, thyroid cancer, colon cancer, a stroke, a heart attack, and that was all in the same day. well, the stroke and the heart attack was in the same day. She survived that, and she is currently in remission of lung cancer. So, and she lives by herself. She does everything for herself. She doesn't have any caregivers, none of that stuff. My mom is a superhero when it comes to that. So maybe that's where I get my resiliency from, because she's the strongest person I know for real.
Please say mama name.
Her her name's Elizabeth Taylor, but yeah,
Oh wow. God,
she's definitely the strongest person I know, because she's been through the ringer.
God bless her.
Yeah,
My goodness. Wow. And she
yeah.
lives by herself.
Yeah, she lived by herself. She do her thing. I talk to her every day. She just makes sure she eats right, goes to the doctor. The doctors say she's doing great and fabulous, and she doesn't have anything to worry about. They said she's gonna have a long, fruitful life, and she's doing her thing.
Wow. Okay, mom.
Yeah, she passed
Wow.
it down, so I mean, I can't be mad at it.
Wow, mom. Wow. That's a whole nother story, you know,
Yeah.
within itself. So as it relates to your daughter, now how are you are you checking her? Are you checking her for high blood pressure? Like what are you doing there?
Yeah, I told her doctors what I was going through, so they keep an extra eye on her to make sure she's not doing like losing any kidney functions or having any high blood pressure. Her blood pressures are beautiful, and then on top of that, I have her play a lot of sports and be active, so she's not just sitting around eating Takis all day. She's actually out there doing things. She likes to paint. She likes to create. I mean, she's just now starting to get into video games a little bit, but I don't let her run marathons on it. I make her get up and go do something to stay active.
Okay, so you're kind of monitoring, her. Well, that's good. That's good. And at least now she is aware of what's in the family. And again, I always say, your family history is so very, very important. And I
Yeah.
just want to pause for a second. Thank you all. Thank you, Steve. Hi, Steve. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Lisa. And thank you all for just, being a part of the show and always watching. Thank you for doing double duty, Steve. You all would please just go ahead and swipe and invite, do a watch party because this is a really good show and a really good interview. So if you all would swipe and invite and just kind of get this out a little bit, don't be stingy. Don't be stingy.
Don't
And
be stingy. Don't be lazy.
just right, do a watch party so that other people can see it. And again, guys, just let me know where you all are. All
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
so, so we're talking about the family dynamics, and then your mother and your father, and then of course with your daughter. So when you learn that you had what happened on that day when they told you you are in kidney failure and you need to do dialysis?
Um,
The day it just turned your world upside down.
that's a that was the worst day of my life, actually. Um, because what happened, I was sick like 2 weeks before. I thought I had the flu because my whole house had the flu, and then they got over it in about a week. Um, my girl had went to California because she was feeling better, and she was like, "I'll make sure you're okay when you come." And I was like, "All right," and then, or I'll make sure you're okay while I'm gone. And I was like, "Okay." And I just wasn't feeling good. I couldn't keep any food down. I couldn't move. I lost like 3 shades of color. Like I looked like I don't know if you're familiar with American Dad, but I look like Roger. I was looking all pale and just pasty and just terrible. And she came back, and when she came back a week later, I was still laying on the couch and I couldn't move. And she was like, "What are you doing?" Like at first she didn't know. She was like, "What are you doing? Why are you still laying here? You haven't cleaned up anything. What are you doing?" And I was like, "I can't move." And she was like, "Maybe you need to go to the doctor." And I was like, "I set up an appointment. I go in 2 weeks." And she was like, "2 weeks?" She was like, "Nah, man." She was like, "The way you're looking, you might want to go now." Um, so she had got me over to the urgent care, and I was in the urgent care, and they took my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was like, it was like 240 over like 200. It was like ridiculous, where the doctor was asking me Are you having eye problems? Can you see? Like, are you having any chest problems? Can you breathe? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I just don't feel like I feel sick. Like I feel like I'm like
Wait a
I
minute.
got the flu.
You say what? It was too
It was
what?
like 240 over like 200. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I was
Oh
sweating.
my.
I was sweating for some. I just kept sweating. And then he was like, "Man, we got to get you to the hospital. We got to get you to the ER." So they got me over to the ER. I actually had thought that I had diabetes at that point because diabetes runs in my family. Like I think there's only me and my little cousin are the only ones that aren't diabetic in our whole family. So
Wow.
yeah, so I was like, maybe I got diabetes now. So then they took my blood sugar and it was like at 100. So they're like, no, you don't have diabetes. So I'm like, oh, what's going on with me? I was like, what do I have? What's going on? So
Wow.
I get to the ER. They put me in ICU. I'm in ICU for like 4 days. Like I said, I was supposed to go to a Blazer game that night.
Uh-huh.
Box seats, all that, everything catered. It was supposed to be real dope, and I was like super mad I wasn't able to go to the game.
All right.
And I'm in the hospital room, and the most traumatizing thing that happened at that point was that the doctor came in and he was like, "You're in full renal failure."
Wow.
And I'm like, and I worked as a dietary aide in the renal division in the hospital, so I knew what he was talking about. So I'm like, wait, you're trying to say my kidneys are bad? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what happened? He's like, from preliminary things, it looks like it's your blood pressure. He's like, there's nothing else coming back. Everything's coming back normal. And I'm like, so what does that mean? Does that mean I'm going to die? And he was like, no, but you're going to need a transplant. And that's all he told me about transplant at that time. I had no idea what that entailed. So I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, excuse my language. So I was like, what? And then I'm just being real with you. That's how I felt in the hospital. I can't even. I mean, that's exactly what crossed my mind.
I'm sure.
Again, everybody, I apologize for my language. Excuse me. And he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna need a transplant." And I was like, "So what does that mean?" He's like, "You're gonna either have to have somebody donate, or you're gonna have to get on the transplant list." So I'm like, "Okay." So this is where, to be honest, this is where the traumatic part came in. Um, I looked over to my girl, my the mother of my child. I looked over at her and was like she knew I was like, "Can you test?" And she just told me she couldn't do it and left the room. And I'm like, I mean, honest, I was still like, what the f? I'm like, you're supposed to be my number two or my number one, and you're supposed to be the one that had my back besides my mom and everything, and you weren't there. You abandoned me at that point. So
Mm.
so I felt slighted, I felt abandoned, I felt alone, and it was like, okay, D'Angelo, you know what it is. You gotta fight this battle on your own, bro. So I had to stay strong for my baby and just fight through it. Every morning, getting up at 4:30 to go to dialysis. Every doctor's appointment, every little setback where they told me I couldn't do this or I couldn't do that, can't eat this, can't drink that, can't go here, can't go there, can't be in the sun, can't have grapefruit, can't do is everything. So just a lot of restrictions. Like I said, it felt like a prison. So I just really like I said, at that point, I just went into a dark place. Like I was mean all the time. I was
Mm.
sad. I was sad all the time. Nobody could even talk to me. Like you ask me a question, I'm snapping and trying to bite your head off. I mean, that's just what it was. I didn't care about anything at that point except trying to get better and be there for Taylon. So
Mm.
that's basically all it was. I didn't care about nothing else, nothing at all. And then and I just went through it like that, and I just, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I don't mean to be too personal or nothing like that, but I mean,
Okay.
there was some definitely some issues within that whole situation after that happened at the hospital, and it snowballed and went crazy, and it affected my personal relationships. It affected my work because at work I was like getting ready to beat up my boss. I actually had to quit my job because I felt so much rage because I was going to like punch his face in. So I literally like retired. I really resigned from my job, and
Wow.
then like I just had so much anger in me, and I knew where it came from, but I was just like, I think I was so angry because I felt like I failed myself because I
Wow.
thought I was doing everything right, and I ended up with that kidney failure.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
and then
But
yeah,
that's when you realize that there was a mental uh you were facing a mental challenge at that point,
hmm
and you knew that you needed to get some help.
right.
And when we talked 2 months ago, because again, he was supposed to be on the show. And hello, my brother Danny, how you doing? Thanks for watching. Please swipe and invite. Don't be stingy, because there's some good stuff here. Because most men don't talk about their mental health and being unstable. And when we talked about it, I was like, wow, you don't meet a lot of men that would say how vulnerable they are. And admitting that, hey, at that point, this is just how I feel. Anybody could get the business from me at that point, because I didn't like where I was.
Right.
And, for you to be able to, share that and just be so candid, I appreciate that, because I try to tell people all the time, your mental health is everything. Your mental health is everything. You can't be any good for anybody if your mental health isn't right, you know?
Exactly, exactly. And that's what it was. It's like I can't be, and that's what I felt. It's like I can't be good in this relationship and I'm not good with myself because I was so disappointed in myself. I was like depressed and sad and mad and everything. So it was like I'm not going to be good to anybody. I'm not good to anybody like this.
Right.
So that's where I went and started talking to Ryan, and then
Shout out to Ryan.
yeah, Ryan's my boy. Like I never met him in person. We always talked over the phone, but the first chance we get to meet in person, I'm definitely gonna reach out to him because he's been my best friend throughout all of this as far as like trying to get my mind right and making sure I'm in the right place for transplant because
Right.
I was healthy enough, but I wasn't mentally ready.
Right.
And he definitely helped me out with that aspect, and that was incredible. Like he talked me off the ledge, off the bridge, off the cliff, off the mountain. He talked me off of
Right.
all of that. So
Right.
that dude, he deserves just a humanitarian award because he did that out of the kindness of his heart. I'm sure he gets paid for it, but I'm
Right.
like, but he really like took me under his wing and was trying to make sure that everything was okay.
Right. Because you all, as transplant recipients, there's a battery of tests that you all have to go through.
hmm
And my brother, hey Ray, definitely, I think you all, both of you, probably could have a great conversation. So you all, and he's a kidney recipient as well, kidney warrior. Man, talking about the mental capacity and being able to be there, because you have your family, you have your daughter, and all of that is just on you. And then to look at you, say you're number one, and she says, yeah, no, I can't do that. you know Mentally, that's a strain on the relationship. And we don't know where she was, and she's not here to defend herself, so I won't
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, yeah. No, we won't. No, we won't
So,
speak ill of that because I
yeah,
mean,
but
it
that's a
is.
lot.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, it was devastating to me on
Yeah.
that note. But I mean, yeah, I'm not going to badmouth her or say
Right.
anything terrible about her at all. No.
Hey, y'all kind of late to the party, but thank y'all for showing up, honey. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Hey, TT. And again, you were going through all of this. Well, you've been through it for like the 4 years, and then COVID came.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I got sick in like 2016.
Mhm.
I can honestly say that the the late summer of 2017 was probably like my brightest spot while I was sick
Okay.
because I mean the people who were involved in that situation know who they are, so they know that it was a happy point in that area in that era.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to 2017. But when COVID came, you what did you have to adjust with
Nothing.
COVID? Nothing.
Nothing, because I was sitting in the house already all the time anyway. So when COVID came, I didn't. I was like, and like I said, I was in that dark place, so I was just like cranky anyway. So I was like, good, everybody gets to sit in the house like me. I, being being honest, I was like, cool. So now I'm not missing out on nothing. Everything closed.
Right. Shut it
Good.
down.
Everybody else on punishment just like me. So I mean, I was on a pity trip for a minute. I was on a
Oh
pity trip,
wow.
but I was like, and now I'm on the other side of the fence. I'm like, okay, I got my kidney. I feel like I got a new Ferrari and I can't even drive it. All I can do is go out the driveway, start it up, and step on the. That's all I can do, and go back in the house.
No shifting gears there. Hello, Nelson. Thank you all for watching. Hello. Yeah, so yeah, for us that just wasn't used to, everything being shut down. And I don't think I go out all the time, but I can stay very busy. But
Right.
once they shut everything down, I was like, wait a minute, like this just ain't right. This ain't kosher. I'm not here for this. This not my ministry now. We got to do something. And yet it is still here. It's been a year that we were just kind of introduced to it. I'm ready for it to go away.
Man, that's what I said. Like after I got my transplant, like a whole new light came down, and I was like, "Why are we stuck in the house? I want to go outside," and I've been wanting to go outside so bad. Like, and
I
I can't.
know.
And then it's like you got the immunosuppressants, so it's like you really can't go outside like that for a while. So it's like, oh my god, I'm on further punishment. So it's
Right,
just like,
right. But a good punishment though.
yeah,
You
like I
know,
said, yeah, like I said though, it's like having the Ferrari in the driveway and you can't even drive it. You can just start it up and turn it off.
but you're gonna be able to drive. You're gonna be able to drive. It's gonna be good. But just tell
Man.
us, because I don't want to hold you long. Even though you in Oregon, you got some more hours before I, have to go to bed. Well, tell us about the day. And now I can tell you, I remember like talking to you, and when you like messaged me like, "Oh, now Shonda, I'm about to get a transplant." I was blown away. I was like, "No way!" Like I literally just talked to him yesterday, so I know I was
Yeah.
excited. But what did it do for you?
That day, well, because what happened was, I got put on the list on the 10th of December.
Okay.
Okay, that's when I was actually active. So then they said, just keep your phone on. Somebody's gonna might call you at any time. And I was like, yeah, right. I'm probably gonna wait like a year or two for a transplant. So I'm just chilling, and I saw my phone die one day, and I was like, oh, I gotta keep my phone charged up. So I plugged my phone back in, and then just as I plugged my phone back in, I went out and checked, or my daughter went out and checked the mail, and she had brought back my little welcome to the transplant list letters and stuff, and all the stuff I'm supposed to have ready and all that good stuff. So I'm reading through that, and I'm like through maybe like the third page of it, and then I get a voicemail because somebody must have called me when I was dead, when my phone was dead, and uh, and I checked the voicemail, and it said, "Oh, this is your transplant team, and we're just calling you because we have a kidney on standby." And I'm like, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was like, shut the F up. And I had to like put it on speakerphone. I was like, I had to put it on speakerphone and like listen to it again. And I was like, I might be getting a kidney. And it was only the 16th. I hadn't even like looked at the paperwork yet. So I'm like, okay. And then I called them back and they were like, yeah, we got a kidney on standby. We think it's gonna go to you, but we got to test it against one other person first. So you're on standby. We'll call you tomorrow during dialysis and let you know if you need to come in after dialysis. And I was like, okay. So I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm just on standby. That's probably gonna go to the next person, whatever. So I didn't keep my hopes up at all. I kept them down.
Really?
Yeah, and then because I was at the point where I was just like, I'm not gonna put my eggs in any baskets. I'm just gonna keep them here in my little nest. So, um, so then the next day I went to dialysis, 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to dialysis, and I told the nurse I was like, the transplant team might be calling up here because they said I'm on standby for a kidney. I was like, but I don't know, I don't believe it. So they were like, "Well, that's great," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, whatever." So I go in and I get ready to sit in my chair, and right when I'm getting ready to sit in my chair, right after I took my weight and everything, my phone rings, and I'm like, "That's them." So then I pick up the phone and I'm like, "Hello," and they're like, "Congratulations, we're gonna get you a kidney today. Are you at dialysis right now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm at dialysis. I'm just getting ready to sit down." They were like, "Okay, just finish your session. Once you finish your session, come straight to the hospital. We're gonna get you in pre-op. We're gonna get you ready. We're gonna do a couple little blood tests, make sure you're okay, and then we're gonna get you a kidney." And I still kept it cool. I broke down a little bit in dialysis. I was happy, and I shed a couple tears because I was like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be my last day in this chair." So I went through dialysis. I used to go to sleep in dialysis. I was up the whole time. I was yeah, I was up the whole time. And when I was up, I was just sitting there, I was chilling, I was talking on Facebook. I'm getting a kidney today. Guess who
Yeah,
messed around and got a kidney? Blah blah blah
yeah.
blah 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 blah. So I'm just telling everybody and calling my mom. I'm telling I'm about to get a kidney. She beat me up to the hospital. She was in my hospital room before I was there. And I called my dad. I called everybody and people came and stuff. And then but could due to COVID restrictions, only a couple could stay and stuff. So then went to the hospital. Well, I finally got to the hospital, and when I got there, we did all the pre-op stuff, and I was still leery. I was like, I heard people just get turned away for just having a phosphorus a little bit too high, and I'm scared because I don't know. I've been taking these phosphorus pills, but I don't know if my phosphorus is low enough. And they were like, "Okay, let's go to pre-op." And I'm like, "Oh, it must have passed." So then I'm actually sitting in the bed in pre-op with other people that are getting operations and stuff, and I'm sitting over here just chatting it up with everybody in pre-op, like, "What you getting? What you doing? Well, just what kind of operation you getting?" Just chatting. And then they came in and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna wheel you in. We're gonna start the anesthesia, and then you're gonna get the breathing tube down your neck. We're going to stop your breathing for a couple hours while we're doing the transplant, but you'll be fine. We're going to be monitoring you the whole time." They gave me the Michael Jackson. They gave me the little propofol and all that. and then they played the song that I wanted to play while I was going through the transplant.
What was
And
that?
huh?
What was the song?
It was "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John.
Come on,
So
okay.
I did that, and they played the song, and we went through transplant. Next thing I know, I woke up. It was probably about almost 9 o'clock at night, and I woke up. I was like groggy and stuff. I didn't feel too much pain, but they were like, it took as soon as we did the last stitch, it started functioning immediately on the table while you were still open. And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Usually when you're making your first fluid from the transplant, usually only make like 20 milliliters." He was like, "You're doing 150 milliliters constantly, hour over hour." And I was like, "Whoa, yeah." So I guess whoever's kidney this was, it was meant for me to get it. And that's what they said. They like, "This kidney loves you because it's doing everything. It takes you only like 2-3 weeks to do. It's doing it all right now."
Wow.
So, and then ever since then, I've been super grateful. I reflect on the day every single day,
Wow.
and I wrote to the donor family, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them. I hope I do because I really want to just show my appreciation to them and just thank you, because they
Oh, wait,
sent me.
don't take my thunder yet, because I got to ask you. At the end of the day, what can you say? What do you want to say to the family? Just don't make me cry while you say it.
um,
Miss Verna, he breaking the rules, Miss Verna. He breaking my rules. Go ahead.
um, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I got
Um,
my tissue just in case.
there's a lot, I just want to say, thank you first of all, because you helped me. You helped me be able to see my daughter graduate high school. You helped me, or you gave me the opportunity to be able to see my daughter get married. You helped me, like I said earlier, help me have the opportunity to see grandbabies if she decides to have some. Um, you helped me with a new outlook on life. I see everything with a brand new lens. Like, there's always some optimism at the end of the day. It's not always negative. And And I'm not a super religious person, but I also feel like I got closer to God with this. I feel like He gave me a chance for a reason. There's a reason I was only on the transplant list for a week. Um, there's something out here bigger than me, and He wants me to be a part of that. And um, I just thank everybody that was involved, like the donor family, my transplant team, my surgeons, um, my kidney doctor that fought for me to actually get on the transplant list because I was running into issues when I was trying to get qualified. Um, just everybody, man. I mean, I can't thank the people that were positive in my life at that time enough. I just run out of words. I don't have my thesaurus with me to actually come up with new words for it, but I just wish that like honestly I wish that I was like monetarily great so that way I could like take care of them when they took care of me. And that's what I'm shooting for. So I'm just shooting to try to at least pay everybody back one by one in some kind of way before I leave this earth.
How beautiful is that? How beautiful. And TT, he's from Oregon, Beaverton.
Well, I lived in Beaverton. I'm actually from Portland and I moved back to Portland, so
Oh, you're back in Portland. So he's
mm.
back in Portland. So I'm gonna tell you, like I told Malcolm and the other people that live in. I guess I'm gonna have to visit Miss TT too. When COVID is over, um, if you get that food, you get that food truck together, brother. I'm gonna have to come in and partake
Oh,
in
definitely.
in your venture and your grand opening. Um,
Oh, you got a VIP. You getting some good stuff for free. Don't worry about it.
oh, come yo, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. DeAngelo, I promise you, every step that you were taking, and he was so gracious, y'all. Like he was messaging me back, letting me know, what was going on. We actually was gonna try to go live from the hospital room and everything, but it was not that. That was not the purpose. The purpose was for him to be in the moment and see everything that he was to see and just be grateful in that moment because like he said he was on it for a week. And I think the only other shortest person I know was probably Miss Goldring. Like she was on there for you know maybe a few days, maybe 6 days if I remember correctly. She was on there, so I definitely didn't want to hold you long. And
Oh, that's okay.
I told you I wasn't gonna cry. You see him, Miss Verna. Miss Verna, he broke the rule, but those are happy tears just to be able to, you know, and people know that you're grateful,
Yeah.
because there's no acting, behind that. People have to know how pure your heart is for being able to have another chance at life, another chance to be with your family, just to give you a second chance. And I am so grateful for that family and any and everybody that's watching, that's involved in the transplant community. I know I've seen how grateful you all are, and those tears are the same tears that you cry. So I'm forever grateful. And that's why I encourage people to go out and become organ donors. For that kidney to take that fast, that was nothing but God, and
Yeah.
I'm forever grateful. And you have some other people that's just saying how beautiful everything was. And if you go back and look at all of them, I appreciate you all so much. Make sure that you all please don't be stingy. Go ahead and share, do a watch party. I didn't mean to like hold you all this long, but what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ending to for 4 years of a struggle,
Yeah.
4 years of mental and physical struggle.
4 years and 10 months. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years and 10 months of a struggle. And before 2021, he was blessed. And so again, I encourage everyone to go out and become an organ donor and help save 1,000 lives and just be an organ donor. We're not saying that we got to take it right now, but if you just so happen to have an untimely demise, you meet your demise, be an organ donor and help try to save 7 to 8 lives. Be that hero for
Yeah.
somebody because
And
when you get a chance to meet that donor family, he's gonna give it all, and he's gonna go be an advocate, and he's doing different things now with Jared and the Brown brothers. So again, I thank you. I thank you so much. And we
yeah.
didn't even get into all the other things, all the different medicines that you was on. Everything happened. I am a donor. Thank
We didn't even talk about post transplant, D'Angelo, but that's okay.
right, right. So
I think
that's
everybody can get the idea of where I'm at right now.
because like I said, you're gonna come back in August.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
we're gonna come back in August because we definitely have to do our telethon. So everybody that's on
I'll
here
be
right
there.
now, Verna, Ray, TT, we're gonna have something to talk about. And so, Mr. Crawford, thank you again so much. I'm gonna put you backstage for a minute. And I'm gonna come back, so don't leave me,
I
and
won't.
I'll just end the show. All right. So, guys, I thank you all so much. If I don't know if you all know it or not, but Valentine's Day is actually a national organ donor day. So I'm going to try to do something. I'm trying to get a few friends together so that we can kind of have like a nice town hall meeting. If you all are interested, please let me know because I would love for you all to be on the show on Sunday, and I'll reach out to you, as well. So again, thank you all so much. Again, swipe and invite people to the show. Let them see it. Invite them to become an organ donor. God, man, God bless y'all. God bless this family that allowed them to become organ donors, and anybody else that's an organ donor and living donor. God bless you too. And next week I will have my special friend. My special friend, that's my boy, Derek Bryant, on the show. And I told him before he's going to be on my show. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for watching always. Y'all watch this week. And, I appreciate y'all. So until next time, in all that you do, get understanding and wisdom, behind it, because in there, everything that you're doing, you're supposed to go through it. And I know somebody might be having a hard time right now, and you really wish that you could be like that movie with Adam Sandler and you could click, 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 click right through it. I know I didn't like the dark times. I know I didn't like being in the storm, and that thing hurt. It really, really hurt. But the only thing I could tell you is that even the storms run out of rain. And so enjoy the rainbow at the end. And all you do, get understanding. God bless you all. Good night. Yeah, Daddy, I like this one too. I was so excited. All right, guys. God bless you all. And good night.